Hey guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries. This evening for me. And so tonight, as previewed, not much promoted. What a week it's been, right guys? Have you followed? Yikes. Tonight we're going to talk about my membership with MaMa. MaMa Playhouse, MaMa Theater Group, whatever you want to call it. MaMa was a very famous theater group, playhouse, that was founded in 1961. It has a long, phenomenal, illustrious history, and it is known. It's just it was a wild, creative family to be a member of MaMa. La Mama is known as the birthplace of off Broadway. That is, what comes with the territory. We're saying La Mama. La Mama was a launch pad for many things, particularly plays and things bold and risky. Anyone who knows anything about La Mama will know exactly what I'm talking about. So it was my home to experiment being a member of MaMa. I joined MaMa in 1974 when I was cast by the group, brought in and put into a production called The Petrified Man at Theater Vanguard on Melrose in West Hollywood, what was then an unincorporated part of the city of Los Angeles with no name. And it was called The Petrified Man. I co-starred with Jacqueline Colton, who is basically a co-founding member of MaMa, to speak of, and I co-starred with Marion Mercer. Marion Mercer is also an extremely famous award-winning actress. She was also commonly known as, in that television series with Ann Gillian, It's a Living, she was the proprietor, the manager of the restaurant. Fabulous actress, wonderful opportunity, and I was actually written up in the LA Times. I wish I have it somewhere, probably on my phone, but it was a nice write-up. It mentioned me, and it was well-received production. Soon after my run in The Petrified Man as a member of MaMa, we then shifted to a performance at what we called MaMa Playhouse, which was a small space in Hollywood proper on Van Ness and Fountain, Bronson, and a very small theater. And there we began a production called Skyjack 76 on Tebby. Skyjack 76 on Tebby was the first drama ever written and or produced about the incident, the skyjacking incident in 1976, that involved an interim landing of the skyjack plane in Uganda, in Entebbe. And then there was a raid and rescue by Israeli forces. This was then turned into a television movie. Kim Richards of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, among other things, she was in Escape to Wish Mountain. Her career is kind of forgotten during that time. And she played my child character in the television film, and then there was another film, a feature film, with, again, the child character, which I originated in Skyjack 76 on Tebby. Speaking of which, my work with MaMa in that production was almost halted, flat out, one night when we moved to the second playhouse, the MaMa Playhouse. We were doing Skyjack 76 on Tebby, which is a skyjacking. And there are, of course, the skyjackers walking around the stage with machine guns. And we are down low, hunkered down, trying to have our dialogue. Well, the labor board showed up because I was a minor, and they considered this legitimate theater, and as such, I would have been required to go to school on set at the little MaMa Playhouse every day before performance. But So I was called off stage. They told the producer and the director, poor Jackie Lynn Colton and Danny Goldman, that I needed to be removed immediately. So they had to tell one of the skyjackers to go onto the stage amongst all the others and come whisper to me. And he said, "You have to get off stage right now." So that's all I knew. So I got up as pretending as if I was nauseous and had to throw up as the character. We're all nervous. So I sort of and sort of made my way where the restroom in the airplane would be. But I was directed right out of the theater. There were two members of the labor board, Jackie and Danny, and they were arguing about how, the production needed to stop immediately. And Jackie and Danny convinced them that as it was a completely nonprofit venture, as was La Mama, there was no hat passing, there was no price of entry, there were no tickets, so it could not be considered labor related because there was no labor. It was a venture of love. It was free. So in this commiseration between the five of us on the street in the middle at night with the production still continuing, they agreed to let me return to the stage, having concluded that it was not a professional engagement. So I had to get back on stage somehow and continue my dialogue. So I didn't know what to do, so I took water and I sort of splattered my jeans, my khaki pants with it to make it look like I had been in the bathroom getting ill. And then I came back on stage with that, sort of not too obviously wiping my mouth, kind of holding my groin and going back to where I sat. And then my actors kind of, "Are you okay? Are you feeling okay?" Went off without a hitch. That's Hollywood, but all was well. That production became a huge hit in Los Angeles at the time. I don't know if you were around, but it became such a La Mama hit that we had to move it to a large theater on Sunset Boulevard. This was right across from Tower Records, where Tower Records used to be. It was directly across from there. It was actually next to a big head shop, which we used to call head shops, like what do you call them now? A head shop, paraphernalia, whatever, that that exploded right after we did that production. Somebody bombed the head shop. It took over the whole corner that then became an office building. Dodged that bullet, I guess. But it was an amazing experience. I will never forget it. It is probably up there, maybe with maybe a couple of my proudest moments, my most exciting moments. Maybe that's why 1978 was my favorite year. I don't know. But again, to this day, I am called, in certain circles, an OG member of La Mama. And that is something that I wear with pride. So that's just a piece of my pedigree, Hollywood, colleagues and friends. And there's more to follow. I think tomorrow we'll get into my membership in the Actors Studio, the old one in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, the steep one on the second floor that Marilyn Monroe used to walk up those stairs and stare at her portrait at the top behind the reception desk. Let's get at all that. And the production's there, working with Lee and all that. So what a week, like I said. Thanks for sticking with me, you guys, now and forever or never. I would miss you if it was never. But again, as you know, it's the highlight of my day. It's going to be the highlight of my life for what's left. And thank you for sharing my stories, putting up with them. And come hell or high water, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Love you. Bye.